The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Did you miss us? Sorry, boys and girls. We were off on Tuesday. Welcome to a Well-Watched Wednesday presented by Sport Trade and the Sport Trade app for the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault, Alex Kane. In about 10 minutes, stopping on by, talking about everything happening with his application. We are live on YouTube at Boston versus the Book. Same thing on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. And we are replayed on SiriusXM, Channel 159, and on Sports Grid TV each and every single night. I just saw you, Dave. How are you? A little bit of a late start. Proxy business has been heating up for us over the last couple of days.
It has. That's what caused a little bit of snafu yesterday. Got to shout out Jay Buck. Literally flew here for the day. He's already back home in New Hampshire. Signed up with the proxy service. Made an entry this morning. Want to shout out Justin, and he showed up today, and came from north of the border.
Yep.
Canada
Canuck
guy, signed up for the contest. Appreciate him. Multiple entries and stuff. It's been good. It's been busy. It's been fun. Your back is feeling better. My throat is feeling better. We got a lot to talk about.
We do. First and foremost, we got to figure out a way. What do we call newbies? Jerry Johnson, first time watching the show live. How are you?
Hello, Jerry.
Welcome in. We got to find a way to, I don't know. We came up with the brigade on the year. We'll find a way of calling. What's a person that joins a brigade first for the first time? What do we call them?
Oh, you can call them a bunch of things.
Newbies too easy,
guys.
Yeah,
what do you call those? Rookies.
Joe C. Meyer. We need a better name than rookie for someone who joins a regiment. Someone who comes on into a brigade for the first time. So
first time or grunts.
A grunt?
We'll
That's
think
kind of
of something.
insulting.
But that's Jerry with a G.
Yeah.
Last name Johnson. Jerry Johnson. And you didn't start the Jerry with a J. I mean, how many times you got to be spelling that, Jerry? But thank you for being here. Guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We got over for the likes today. I think we set the number 59.5.
Okay.
So
let's hit
get that over. That's good.
We'll do that. All right, guys, a couple things. Big Ten Survivor Contest is still available right now. $25,000 up to if we fill the thing up. Need to do that. It's very easy to do that. We'll give you the website here in just 1 second. It's a Big Ten Survivor Contest, and college football starts next week. Okay? So if you were waiting, come on now. Let's not wait anymore. Let's get in this thing. Let's fill this thing up. $100 to enter this contest. You can do up to 5 of these entries if you would like to be a part of such, with 5 of them, but it's $100 per to be a part of it. Log on to splashsports.com/BVB. Winner take all, 14 weeks, 18 teams. Let's see how you guys could potentially find your way here to become a Big Ten BVB $25,000 football survivor coming up here at the start. The 31st is the deadline to enter for those who are wondering for that coming up.
I was going to say college football starts next week, but it's that week 0 thing.
Yeah.
The contest is the week after.
Yeah.
So you have essentially 2 weeks from today to get in and get started with that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, sorry, Gary. It's pronounced Gary Johnson, not Jerry Johnson. Sorry.
Holy cow.
That's a tough one.
Jerry Gallo. Did I say Gallo? Did I say Gary? Did I say
That's
Jerry?
tough. Gary spelled Jerry. Whew, that's tough. I apologize.
Yeah.
We call him a private. We're going to call a BVB private. That sounds like something you go and pay for.
Hold on. Stay on point here. Come on. We got AK coming in. We got to play it straight for a little while.
So the New York Times put this out this week. We were going to do this yesterday. We're doing it today before we talked to Alex. They're putting together the ultimate Big Ten football road trip. Okay.
Yep.
Which game is better for the week or for a trip? And would you want to take this? Okay. So this is done. One of the guys is Scott Dockerman, who I knew in Iowa. He covers the Hawkeyes. He's a Big Ten guy for the New York Times and the Athletic now. But other guy I didn't know anything about. But they've done this together as to who would put together the best Big Ten football road trip for 2024. Okay. Week 1, would you rather go to UTEP at Nebraska or Penn State at West Virginia?
You're asking me this question for real?
No.
Trip 2, easy, minus 8,000.
Right? Well, wouldn't you go? Why would UTEP at Nebraska? Why would you go there? No idea. Iowa State. Do you?
Is it a one-time shot at the school? Like there's not another trip on the left for Nebraska, so that's your only time.
Well, no, this is going to the ultimate Big Ten football road trip because there's multiple Michigans, there's multiple Ohio States, there's multiple, like you can see the same team twice.
No, you can see the same team twice, but you only see that venue once at Nebraska, so that's why it's on the left. But I wouldn't go see UTEP at Nebraska if I had to go to Penn State and West Virginia. It's easy.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in the Cyhawk game, Iowa State?
I've heard you talk about it. We've had a lot of people on the show to talk about it. I kind of do.
Oh, no. You should see it. Yes. It's a spectacle. It's fun. It's a lot more cordial than every other rivalry I've been a part of. They try to make it out to be angry, but it's kind of like, I like it. Awesome atmosphere. It's Iowa people are nice. They're just nice people. Like they're not mean.
So that's option number. That's week 2?
Do I know what UTEP stand for? University of Texas El Paso, JC from KC. Come on, bro. I've been covering. How old are you? I've been covering college football probably as long as you've been an adult. Easy now.
There's a code for that. That's not what he means.
Oh,
put it in the chat, JC from KC.
The UTEP doesn't.
When a kid asks a question like that, there's a meaning behind it.
Oh.
So what's option week number 2? What is it we decided between? What is the
look at your little brother.
Little bro?
Iowa State, little brother.
Oh.
Yes, Quit Ruck. It's a big old Iowa party. It's awesome. It's awesome. Iowa people are so nice that when it's in Ames, I have found it to be more of like, I don't know, little brother syndrome is a real thing. Like when Iowa State hosts Iowa, there's more animosity. When Iowa hosts Iowa State, it's not as angry. It's not as like contentious of an environment.
Put that back up, that graphic. Game, is that week number 2?
Yes, Iowa State.
Oh, so there's no option. It's that.
They're both going to that game because that's the best game for week 2.
Okay.
Involving Big Ten teams. Notre Dame at Purdue or Washington versus Washington State at Lumen Stadium, the home of the Seahawks.
I mean, it's already far and away trip number 2 for me.
Minnesota at Iowa for week 4 or UCLA at LSU.
These questions are getting very easy as we continue to go forward. I mean, it's week number 4 on the right again.
Yep. Week 5 is Wisconsin at USC or Ohio State at Michigan State.
I think I might go to trip number 1 on that one.
Okay. Week 6 is Michigan at Washington or actually both Michigan at Washington. I excuse me. I would go to Ohio State at Michigan State. I've been to USC. It's not that special. Week 7, Ohio State at Oregon for both. That's going to be a whale of a football game. That's October the 12th. That's the weekend.
Yeah, week 6, week 7. Those are easy decisions right there.
Week 8, Michigan at Illinois or Wisconsin at Northwestern.
Oh, boy. If I pick trip number 2, that's the only trip at Northwestern, and there isn't a trip to Northwestern on trip number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like our Chicago brethren. Northwestern, I think, for me.
Okay. Penn State at Wisconsin or Michigan State at Michigan.
Come on. Go to do jump around.
Jump around.
Come on.
Oregon at Michigan or UCLA at Nebraska.
I feel like we're picking on Nebraska, but it's not even close. I'm going to see Oregon and Michigan.
Washington, right? Yeah, I'm with you. Washington at Penn State, or I guess both trips have Washington at Penn State. That's your whiteout game on week 11, which I still disagree with.
Unanimous. Not even
Wrigley, close. Northwestern Ohio State, or Oregon at Wisconsin?
Well, I have not been to the jump around, but if I go to Penn State at Wisconsin week 9,
Yeah.
a football game at Wrigley sounds fun.
Right. Agreed. Purdue at Michigan State or USC at UCLA? How weird does that sound that USC at UCLA is a damn Big Ten game?
I mean, I've always wanted to go to that game. The fact that it's a Big Ten game makes zero sense to me. Zero. But in week 13, I can go freeze at Michigan State and watch Purdue and Michigan State and bet the under, or I can go to UCLA and the Rose Bowl and see those uniforms in person.
Yeah.
In the warmth. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think this is so. Which trip is better overall? Because I think you're leaning pretty heavily towards number 2. But which trip, if you do you take one of these 2 trips?
What's the last game? Michigan and Ohio State is unanimous
For both, yeah.
I found myself on trip number 2, I think, of the 14 weeks, 10 or 11 of them.
I think trip 2 is way better than trip 1. Way better.
Give the kids a poll right now.
Yeah.
Have them vote. Big Ten trip. I mean, this is a perfect, you'll have half of these games in the Survivor, most likely.
Right.
If you do the Survivor contest, but give them a poll. Trip 1 or trip 2? Which one are you picking? I think trip 2 wins unanimous.
Yeah, I think trip 2 going away. Unless you really want to go to Wrigley and see Northwestern at Ohio State, if that's really your thing. Oregon at Wisconsin, decent. Notre Dame at Purdue. There's a lot of history with the on the left. If you know Big Ten history, there's more Big Ten history on trip 1 than trip 2.
Right.
Like there's a bunch of games like 100-year anniversary of Illinois football. Like there's a lot of different, like as they wrote it, as explaining why they were going, there was more big history going on. So that's what they were talking about it in terms of a historic trip in Big Ten lore to go do that. But I think it's trip 2. And I actually don't think it's actually that close.
I see the Shrew is in the chat. Good to see you, sir. He voted for trip number 2. You guys vote in the poll or type it in the chat. Which one you think? I think it's overwhelming. I mean, it's like a minus 800 favorite.
Yeah.
Trip number 2. Just what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, much better games.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were off yesterday, but I'm glad that we were. And we got Alex Kane here in just 1 second, but I want to get this topic up and talked about before we get Alex on because it's too good. Shocker. We told you this was going to happen. That DraftKings was going to say, "Oh, wait. We were kidding. No, we're not actually going to do this. We always listen to our customers, and after hearing their feedback, we have decided not to move forward with the gaming tax surcharge. We are always committed to delivering the best value in the industry to our loyal customers." I'm going to ask this question again, Dave, to you. I'm sorry, Will, but what in the living fuck was the purpose of this?
Wow. Under 15 minutes for the first cash, for the first swear, and it was P-roll today.
Can someone explain why you would do an exercise in public relations that will be taught in colleges about how to tank your entire brand on purpose?
I don't think they did that. I think they just put it out there to see if anybody else would come along. They needed to know. I mean, it's not like they can call them and say, hey, because it's crazy. All they had to do was call and ask, and everybody would have said, are you guys serious? You should do it. When every book in the world tells you to do it, it's the wrong move. So they should talk to each other. I mean, I grew up offshore very quickly. We talked to each other all the time. I mean, we were competing, but, and there were guys that didn't talk to you. But if you talked to the other guys in other books, you knew what was going on in the space. Here in Vegas, it's the same thing. Guys can't get over too long because everybody kind of talks to everybody. You're always competing. They put this out there, floated up like a weather balloon and says, wait a second. What was your analogy today when we were talking to Justin?
If you've seen the movie Old School, when Frank the Tank decides to go streaking down Main Street and he's running.
Hold on. That is the best freeze phrase in the history of the show.
Hold
that
on.
freeze phrase.
He's going. Am I back?
You're back now.
Yes. Okay. Frank the Tank in Old School. He's going running down Main Street. He's running. He's going, we're going streaking. And his wife pulls up and says, Frank, what are you doing? He's like, we're going to the quad. Everyone's behind me. And he turns around. He's buck-ass naked and no one's following him.
No one's there. That
That was DraftKings. They just expected everybody to come following, that FanDuel and everybody else was going to come on in and be like, this is a great idea. Let's tax our winners. And everybody went like, oh, bro. Oh, no. Sorry. We can't do this. And so, of course, they pulled back.
because the customers told them to.
No, because the stock market told them to. They lost stock prices. They lost bad publicity. I mean, they were all by themselves. I mean, everyone was like, yeah, sorry. We're just not going to, decent thought guy. But like, I don't know, you want to be out there by yourself on this? Go right ahead. It makes no sense.
It made no sense in that regard. It's a little warning shot, to the legislators. And the legislators went, we don't care. We can raise the taxes whatever we want. You can pass it on to the customers, and you're going to tell them about it. Right. You're going to put it on the ticket that for a $10 to win $10 even money bet, the person, instead of collecting $20, collects $19.68. Good idea. Wow.
And then on top of everything else that went on with DraftKings over the last 72 week and a half, whatever, last night I get this email sent to me.
Oh boy.
Hi, Sports Talk Matt. We are writing in regards to the bets you placed on this past weekend's golf tournaments. I haven't bet a damn golf bet with DraftKings in 2024. I haven't bet with them. So since the two or more golfers are tied with the same winning position, your bets are settled using dead heat rules, which, by the way, I have a violent reaction to dead heat rules. So you even implying that I would bet on a book with dead heat rules, that pissed me off even more that you would send this to me. They end this by trying to offer me a one-time bonus bet. A one-time bonus bet for a bet I never made in a market that I never made at a book that I wouldn't bet because I don't believe in betting in dead heat rules. What was that? Because thousands of people got sent that email last night.
Maybe seven figures of people. I mean, we got guys in the chat right now. Linus Grimmage said, I've never bet golf, period. And I got the email. Vinny Konowinski said, I think everyone got that email. Mark Schilling, me too. The Shrew got that email and doesn't even have a DK account.
How's that possible?
Hello, Bomber. Good to see you, Brett. I would love to know how that's possible. Every single person that has appeared on a list, Georgie Mason, yep, I got the email and never made a bet on DK ever. Would this have you concerned if you had money in a DK account?
I think everything about DK concerns me right now. Everything. Every single thing.
You like to
I haven't used DK since 2014 MMA Fantasy, 10 years ago.
Stevie Shane.
Wow. No, I was back
That's
east.
10 years. That's
10 years ago.
Years
of data. It literally is like any email address that was in the DraftKings system got sent a mass email yesterday. Like, I don't understand. There is no bonus bet. So when people go, wait, is there a bonus bet? There is no bonus bet. There's no refund because there was no bet placed. My last DK bet was in July when I was back there in New Hampshire. So
at least you used it.
Yeah. I had.
We got people that never even had a DK account are getting this email. I did not get the email. Although if I did, I probably didn't check it. I better check my other account.
You should.
Wow.
So I don't know. I mean, the industry. Let's get Alex on because I need help. I need
ask Alex if he got the email.
I need help from our friend Alex Kane. Alex, help me, please.
In the big box, baby.
Help me.
Jen, what's up going on? How you guys doing?
Wonderful. What happened?
What happened to Dave's voice?
That's a good point.
Bet Bash got me, Alex. That last night upstairs in the Legacy Club, and all those people smoking cigars. We took one of the most legendary pictures, me, you, and Huffman. You guys look great in the suits, and I look great in that Dodger hoodie. That was legendary, but it got my throat. So what do you make of this? One, the email that went out to the world, and two, the tax the tax that never was already repealed.
I would say two things. One is software is hard, and I think there are probably people on the planet outside of DraftKings that can speak towards having a system as complex as theirs. You've got 30, 40 million emails, right, to manage an incredibly distributed software stack. We have one very small percentage of their total email database. And even we are like, how do we manage this? It's getting sort of large. So I can understand, like, I like to say it all the time, it's rocket science. Have you ever seen the movie Apollo 13? Yeah. And you watch like what those folks are doing. Okay, we're not talking about life or death here, right? But things can go wrong and people get really upset. It's just as complex as that. It is really, really hard. That's the position we take, just because I know how hard it is, and we have shit break all the time, and it's just like software's hard, I did get the email, by the way, and I actually thought, maybe I did place it. I don't know. Maybe I did place it. I do like placing golf bets. Do I get a bonus bet? And then what happened, interestingly, is they spiked. A lot of people logged in and never logged in before, or in the last 10 years, as your viewers are saying, it spiked the login service. It crashed, whatever Lambda function they use, AWS, let's say. And now it starts to capitulate, and now it starts to really grow. It's a big snowball. Now it's getting bigger. Now people are saying, I can't log in. I've been hacked. What happens? People tweet about it. More people log in, and you end up having just this disaster. So for anyone that was working ops for DraftKings last night, shout out. You deserve some love. You did not, this was not your fault, and you had to deal with hundreds of people that you've never interacted with before, on text, on call, on chat, on Instagram chat, on Twitter chat, on Discord, trying to solve the issue. And it always falls to the ops guys. So I want to give them a shout out, because they're probably like, yeah, I haven't slept in 24 hours sort of thing. So it's hard is what I can say about that.
So just from a macro standpoint, and we're not I know we're hammered on DraftKings, but I'm just talking about from a macro standpoint. When topics like the tax or topics like emails, it becomes sort of part of not just the world of gambling, but it becomes beyond that, and it becomes a bigger conversation. Is that good for the industry? Because is all pub good pub, or is this could lead to more problematic conversations about government and interventions and things along those lines?
I totally agree with what you're saying. And it's sort of unfortunate that you had one follow the other. I think folks are maybe questioning the timing of FanDuel's doing this earnings report, and they said they're not going to do the surcharge. It's a tough position, right? Like, there are many forms of gaming in the US, and not all of them are taxed. Not all of them are regulated. And I think DraftKings is saying, look, if you're going to increase my costs as a business, I have to increase the cost to the end consumer. And it does come in the form of worse odds. And the surcharge was my very contrarian take is the surcharge was going to be a very transparent look into just how much markups were going to be. And yeah, we all hated it. But guess what? If DraftKings isn't going to do it this way, they're going to do it the way FanDuel and all these other guys are going to do it. And they're going to sneak into the odds when you don't see. And more likely than not, it's going to come in not the -110, -110 line. It's going to come from the guy that's already losing 25% on parlays is now going to lose 28%. And so I thought that the surcharge was actually an interesting take, because at least it gave the entire industry and outside the industry a view as to just how much of that cost was going to be passed on. And now we're left to guess. Now we have this more ephemeral sort of smoky, amoeba that we're sort of going to try to have to reverse engineer how much worse the price is getting. BetRivers came out and said we would never do that to our customers. Newsflash, BetRivers already does it in New York and other states. They have a higher spread. I think they have -113 in a lot of these states. Yep. So the cost is going to get passed off to the consumer. The sort of negative part of it now is that the consumer is not going to be communicated to just how that's going to operate. And at least the surcharge was very brutally honest in saying your odds are going to get this much worse. So I think there's a drawback to maybe now DraftKings isn't saying, oh, I guess we're not going to charge higher prices. They're just saying, well, I guess I'm just not going to tell you that I'm charging higher prices.
Alex, and we've talked a lot about price discovery, and we've talked a lot about the public and education to finding the best price, which is a huge value add to what Sport Trade and what your operation offers to a consumer who is price sensitive. When we're talking about things like this, does this help the average Joe to understand pricing more because of what would have happened? Does this help? Do you like that we're having this conversation because it highlights more what Sport Trade is doing?
I was at Nickel G's in January, and the first time ever in Fort Lauderdale. We drove up 30 minutes. It was with Anthony and Huffman and Arpita. I don't know if you guys have met Arpita yet. She's our chief compliance officer. She's unreal. She's doing with a team of 2 what other companies are doing with a team of 10. She's incredible. We like gambling when we go on these trips. We love it. We go, and Anthony's taught us Mississippi Stud. So we go to Hard Rock there in Florida, the beautiful facility, and we go to the ATM. And there's a guy in front of me, the ATM, and he's jamming his whatever in, and he goes, "What the heck? Like a 1.2% fee." I'm thinking to myself, that's a lower fee than you're going to pay on any bet that you're about to, whether you play a blackjack bet, you're going to pay 1.5%. You go and play craps, it's so interesting that if you point it out to the player, it now becomes a totally different calculation. And the fact of the matter is, when you place a sports bet, no matter if it's on Sport Trade, DraftKings, FanDuel, regulated or unregulated, onshore or offshore, you are paying a fee 100%. When you pay minus 110, you're paying a 4.54% fee. That's what you're doing. You're paying something that's worth 50% at 52.4%. That's what you're doing. You're paying 2.4 divided by 50, which is about 4.5%. So I think it's a really interesting sort of economics sort of lesson. And more people are saying, I guess I'm just charged a fee every time I place a sports bet, whether or not DraftKings wants to tell me. And that plays into our hands because that's what we're trying to say. Like, we want to charge you the lowest price. We want there to be the lowest gap between what you should pay for a sports bet and what you have to pay for a sports bet. The middle being, our profit, our revenue, how we try to make our livelihood. So I think it actually is trending the conversation in the right direction.
It's crazy because when you talk about the math, a lot of people's eyes glaze over. The more transparency we have in the industry, I think the ability to make something complicated seem simple or at least understood is a true skill in life. And transparency is what at least Bet Bash was all about while you were here. We had a tremendous lunch, all of us together, you, the team, everybody. Again, thanks for that. And then continue to do different things. How was Bet Bash for you in the team? I mean, that was a long week in Vegas, but worthwhile. Yes. You run a panel. I mean, give me a little quick highlight package for you.
It was incredible for us. This is the first time we fully sponsored it with Spanky. He reached out to us about 8 months ago and said, I think this is a good fit. We thought about it for about a day and we said yes. And we sponsored the golf. We sponsored the shout out to Jack Larkin. I want to give Jack Larkin a shout out. He left Bet Bash a day early to go play the United States Amateur Golf Tournament. For those that don't sort of pay attention to golf, that's like the Masters for amateur players. In fact, players that play well enough in the U.S. Amateur end up qualifying to play in the Masters, the British Open, and the U.S. Open, among other things. You're talking about future Hall of Fame golfers are in that field. And he went and shot 71, 77. He struggled a little bit on the second day. He played at Hazeltine to finish, like, he beat, I think, about half the field. And when you think about those guys are mostly college kids, they're gearing up to be professional golfers. He's literally sending us emails, guys, 20 minutes before teeing off. We're like, yo, go back to the golf course, man. It's so impressive. I just want to give Jack Larkin a shout out. I know he's been on the show a couple times. We'll have to have him back on and tell you about what that experience was like. But man, how awesome is that? So we sponsored the golf tournament. And the difference this year to last year was like seeing guys in the networking, in the gym, outside of the golf and the poker, and them saying, hey, look, I've heard about you guys now. I've used you. I support what you're doing. I love it. How can I help? Getting feedback from players. Like, there's such a night and day difference between this year and last year. And yeah, being able to immerse ourselves in everything, the speed networking, the panels, the seminars was incredible. And obviously we announced that we're launching in Arizona. A lot of Arizona players were there, took them out to dinner. Hopefully they'll get, get acclimated with the app pretty soon when we launch. Just all in all, like incredible. And how many times are you going to be able to get, like, first time I met Rich Baccalari, and like I literally every single time there was a break at the Hall of Fame dinner, I went and searched him out and talked to him for another 5 minutes.
Yep.
And he probably thought I was the most annoying guy in the world. And then again at the Legacy Club, we sort of, made eye contact really quickly. And I just love what he's doing. They're building a whole new software system at Circa. The way he views the world is the way we view the world. He's not an old school thinker. He's a new school thinker. Like the things that he's thinking about are just like obviously so impressive. He's a Hall of Famer, but it's so cool to sort of, okay, this is someone that was booking games in the 80s, Steve the Pencil, right? And now he's talking about how they want to build their in-play model and how they want to build their architecture. It's like, what can't the guy do? So like that for me, it was like kid in the candy shop. Like, oh, there's Matt Metcalf, there's Rufus, there's Dave. Dave is the only guy that could ever go in the Legacy Club and not be wearing a suit. He was wearing his suit, but like not a suit. Incredible. So like that for us is like just an amazing experience.
Yep. Sweatshirt and what, a hat, Dave, or no hat?
Oh, no, I had a Dodgers hat, a Dodgers hoodie, and shorts. I had no intentions to go up there. I got asked to go up there to do some interviews, and I got to the door, and they're like, you're going like this? I said, it's all I got. I left the suit at home. And he's like, come on, let's go. So, yeah, cash that ticket. It was
beautiful.
Fun.
Absolutely beautiful. In terms of the industry, in terms of where Bet Bash has gone, has there been changes? Do you see, does it feel different, I guess is the question, from year to year? Because we've gone to all of them here in Vegas. There's been 4. The first one was Jersey. The last 3 have been here in Vegas. Does it feel like the industry is healthier? Does it feel like the industry is better? Or when you get around the industry, is it like, oh gosh, we're still got a lot to figure out?
The great thing about this conference is it's not like any other conference. You actually get to meet with players that are experts. They're not potentially by title an expert. When you really start to meet them, you're just blown away. Whatever part of the ecosystem that they're in. I think it's so much bigger of an audience there was last year. The overhang bar was just like completely at capacity every single night. The next challenge for Bet Bash is like, how can we turn it into like the Comic-Con, right? Where you can get 20,000 participants, 30,000 participants. I know like that to me is like where like when you think about like the trading card community. I was watching CNBC the other day, Michael Rubin was on, he's talking about the growth of that business for them. It started, I'm sure, one day with like the 200 or 300 like most like eclectic collectors, people that just like, and that's kind of where Bet Bash is right now. And the goal, the challenge is like, how do we make it so it's like the Comic-Con where you're going to have more aspects of the industry and bring in more of players who don't care about price yet, aren't professional, don't know what moving is. And I think Spanky has a Sports Betting 101. That was the best seminar that was voted yesterday. Spanky did a little recap video. Sports Betting 101 was the best seminar. How do we bring it, right? Same thing for the American Bettors Voice. How do we bring it to the everyday sports bettor? Because you go to Comic-Con, it's not going to be people that have been doing it for the last 20 years. It's people who sort of get pulled in by maybe they have an aunt or an uncle or a brother or sister or mom or dad that's really crazy about it and grow outside of that core nucleus into the more casual sports betting fan. That, I mean, I could see a day where, it's just taking over all of Fremont Street, right? You could have 5,000, 10,000. I've never spoken to Spanky about this, but I think in 5-10 years, that's the goal, right? Is to really blow that up. And then we can all say, hey, remember in 2024 when there were 800 folks here and now there's 12,000. Like that to me is where Bet Bash can go. The challenge is how do we continue to bring in more of the players who just the casual DraftKings player who just loves sports and loves betting and doesn't care about price, is not trying to win and maybe can pick up a little thing or two and get better, but isn't trying to be in it for the long term. I'm a professional player. If we can turn that corner, the sky's the limit. Who doesn't like Vegas and betting, right? We all go. And I think we can make it more sort of akin to that. I think, you're still going to have the expert panels. You still have people like me walking around, not knowing who Rich Baccalari is, shaking his hand, learning about what he's doing and turning to, I was with Thomas Gable, who runs MGM, runs a great shop at MGM Retail in New Jersey. And Rich walks away. Okay, so I'm like blown away. We're talking about in play. Hey, if you can hold 3%, I'm like, this guy's amazing. He goes, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. He walks out. Tom's like, who you just talked to? I'm like, I have no idea. He goes, he's going in the Hall of Fame tomorrow, right? Like, I think if you get more of those sort of conversations where you just have people sort of come together, I'm going to go back for life, right? And that's what we sort of have to do is how do we grow it where Bet Bash can be 10,000, 15,000 people one day. It's not going to happen overnight, just like Comic-Con didn't happen overnight. But I think that's the vision that could be really exciting.
A couple things. I sat with Richie for a month when we switched over to the in-play system. Story's incredible. Smoking breaks over. And we knew a lot of the same things from back in the day, had the same exact vision. And 3% was the goal in play. We turned off the delay. We took bets. It was tremendous. So vision aligned, yes. I think to grow this thing, the real key will be for 15 years here in Vegas, you have people coming up to the book going, I don't know how to do this, but I want to make a bet. You have people that will be interested in Bet Bash that will never make a bet because they want to hear about the industry. They like to hear people that are in the industry talk about it without any risk. If you want to grow this thing, you get them, the casual, that may eventually make a bet. Right now, people that bet come to Bet Bash. You take Bet Bash and bring it to people that don't bet, that's how it'll grow. That's how this business will grow. Speaking of growing, Arizona, yes. Anything else on the docket coming for football season that you can say or you want to say? The floor is yours, sir.
Maybe I should have run this by you guys, but I'd like to make an announcement in the next couple of weeks with you guys about, another big, hopefully new state for us in the fall. Just checking in with the regular, making sure we can communicate that.
Always check in with them first.
Sort of put the cart before the horse, but I'd love to do it officially with you guys and set something up and sort of bring some traffic.
Done.
That'd be great. In terms of the Bet Bash thing, and yeah, super excited about Arizona. It's going to be wild.
Do we have a date yet on Arizona?
Arizona, I'm thinking mid-September.
Okay.
I think we can. I think we can beat it, sort of thing. And I feel like so privileged to sit in my position. I'm not really even doing a lot of the work. It's like all David, Arpita, Anthony, Greg. They're probably hearing this and going, "Oh my God, did he just say September 15th?" But I'm just trying to do my best, engage. The regulators there have been incredible.
Because Dave and I are going on a road trip. Like day one, we're going to the Hoover Dam, and we're gonna go show everybody how easy it is to go open up a Sport Trade account and go ahead and fire in Arizona.
I can't wait. Like the amount of work that's going into making this happen. I'm really focusing more on the marketing side. And shout out to you guys giving us so much more legitimacy on this podium. What a privilege it is. I want to thank you guys for that. Dave, I want to make one quick point about the Bet Bash thing. Yeah. There is a world where we can make this huge. I want us to figure out a way to be less combative with some of these books like a Fanatics and MGM. And sure, I know they do some things that make us upset, but if we want to grow this industry, think about if you had MGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, part of this thing.
It's
right? They're taking their top players.
But Alex, but hold on. But to bring them in, they're going to ask questions they don't want to answer from the people that Bet Bash is catering to.
That's true. But even when we brought in Darren Rovell last year,
right?
I think the number one piece of feedback is people are like, I respect it. I don't agree with anything the guy just said, and really I don't agree, but I just respect that he was there and took the shots. And I think whether it's Caesars, I think Caesars is so well suited to potentially do this, whatever, DraftKings, FanDuel, you just earn so much chops because everyone's gonna be like, you know what, I kind of respect the guy that comes in and says yangs when everyone else yangs and has a bunch of angry guys yelling at him. I can respect that. I think you sort of earn your chops that way. The problem is I feel like some of those bigger brands don't feel they need that buy-in. And so maybe I'm in this utopia state and I tend to be sort of head in clouds utopia state. And that's where maybe Sport Trade over the next 2-3 years, we do want to grow beyond just the sharp community, just the price sensitive community. And maybe we can be a part of really bringing everybody in. Because to your point, Dave, who doesn't love betting? Who doesn't love betting on sports? You don't have to do it for $500. You do it for $5. My mom does it. She uses Sport Trade for $5. She loves it. And I think you can make this so much bigger. It's just we need a tectonic shift from, a Fanatics or a DraftKings or a FanDuel to say, yeah, I book a little bit differently, and we can have our disagreement, be respectful about that. But I'm also going to come and blow up this audience and make it a lot bigger. And there's always going to be disagreements on how to do it. Look at the way Caitlin Clark's come into the WNBA. A lot of people have said, I don't like the way it's happened and the way, but the fact matters, it's grown the league. And in 5 years' time, we're going to look back at it as like sort of a watershed moment for WNBA. And I think we need to have that for Bet Passion. And trust me, like Spanky's trying. He has reached out to all of those. It's not for lack of trying, I think. And I don't really have the solution in terms of how to do it. But just imagine how big that would be, where those guys are now sending in their VIPs or just really anything. They're running contests, they're running giveaways. And now you're saying, I want to take over all of Circa and all of the D for a full week to do this Bet Passion thing. Like, that's the goal. And I think we can get there. It's just like, we just need a bigger brand to say, all right, I see the risk, the benefit analysis of this, and really being the first one. Talk about Frank the Tank running through the quad there. It's got risk, but like, think about how much respect you're going to get from our community. Like, you know what? They came into the fire, they drank from the fire hose, and they brought in a lot of folks that just love betting. And I got to teach those players. They did speed networking. They went to Matt Buckalter plus EV Analytics correlated parlays thing. They went to Account Longevity by Elihu. They got to meet some legends of the industry. I think Elihu was going to say, you know what, for as much as I maybe disagree with the Caesars here or there, you know, Mac Butler was in a lawsuit with Caesars. He's also going to be like, but they brought me a huge audience that wanted to learn about correlated parlays. So I think it's possible.
It is possible, but it's going to take some acquiesce from the different people. You have to give a little to get more. I mean, and again, that's another key to life, being able to understand it's not just particularly about me. This business is always about me, and greed. When if rising tide would raise all boats, if they could get together. Last one for me, I didn't run this by you either, but with this Arizona thing, if we can wrap the Sheravan with a Sport Trade logo, I'll pick people up. We'll drive them down with a big caravan, load up the van, and sign up for the Sport Trade app down in Arizona. We'll bring Nevada people down to AZ, get them hooked up. Because I think the thing for you guys that I know I was talking about all week with people, like, what do you like about Sport Trade? I'm like, it's all right there, guys. If you like betting, how can you continually have the best price on so many things? And my answer was simple. I might put this on a T-shirt with your logo. We'll talk about it later. They're booking the games. That's all. It's not a marketing thing. We need to book the games. So that was my takeaway. What do you think about the van idea? Any good?
I love the van idea. We came up with a little idea with the Prime guys. They could call it Prime Transport. Right, of that same idea. I'm like, oh man, John, I was talking with John Richards. Take that idea, man, run with it. I love the concept, and I just looking forward. I think this is going to be such a big fall for Sport Trade, being in a couple more states, marketing in more areas. You guys are such a centerpiece of that. Really, it just takes time, right? 3-4 months of someone's like, oh, there's Sport Trade best price again, or I've just heard about them again. This is the fall where we're going to start to establish Sport Trade. Regulated, unregulated, don't matter. You are going to find the best prices and the biggest limits on Sport Trade, pregame and in play, full stop. And I just think we just have to keep saying that. And as our audience grows, the audience grows, a network effect. We start to add more features. We add more markets. We're adding props. We're just going to keep getting there and keep improving and just being so iron like focused, laser focused rather on the customer. So yeah, we're so excited what Arizona means. The Sheravan, I'm in. Maybe like we could do some cool content, like all ride passenger seat, right? We'll get folks signed up to do. Yeah,
there's
perfect.
Definitely.
We'll videotape it. It'd be awesome. I love it. Let's do it. My last one for you. I know we're here watching Whale and Whale bets on Wednesday, but is it fun? It was golf when we started this, but today, and I appreciate you guys tagging us on this. It was like 5, 6, 8, 6,000 on baseball today. Is that fun to see this start to pop? That baseball is really picking up steam?
It's such great timing because I think we're about to get some incredible stuff for football season. And so the idea is the golf sort of holds you together. It's the bridge. It's the glue that keeps things together over the really, the dog days of summer. Things are starting to heat up on Sport Trade. Customers are coming back. They're learning about everything we've got going on, which is fantastic. Baseball's heating up, which is great. And then I just can't wait. We got to get the week 0 lines up and week 1 lines up and just have folks fire away, because I think there's no reason, if you can have an 8-cent line in baseball, you can't have an 8-cent line on NFL point spread. So that's what we're going for. Let's see if we can do it. But it's been really cool to see folks come back into the main sports.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll catch up next week. Thanks for the time today.
Thank you, guys.
See you, AK.
One Mr. Alex Kane of Sports Trade joining us here on BVB. Let's go ahead and flip and put that there and get it on
back. I forgot to ask him about the Phillies.
Oh, it's okay. I love that talk. That was a tremendous conversation with him about everything going on. If you guys missed it and someone just asked, is anyone having trouble logging on to DraftKings? As Alex shared, the email snafu caused people to try to log in at a very high number to say, what's going on with my account? And that crashed the DraftKings system. So not only was the email a problem, their system then became a problem.
There's nothing worse than being on the other end of those calls. I can't log in. Well, you're 8,292nd in the queue. I'm sorry. We trying. Like, there's the customer service job in books is very, very difficult, especially if it's just chat or like it's not a human being. And when the human being is in there just doing a job and can't answer the questions, talking to the tech guy going, when are we going to be up? I don't know. You can't say to the customer, I don't know. So can't log in. And immediately, Alex said it. You think, is it a natural thought? Geez, my account got hacked.
Yes. I thought so too.
Immediately, right?
Well, people thought it was fake. People thought, wait, that's a fake email or that's a hack email or like what? So if you have real money, like if you have a couple of dimes in DraftKings, you're going to go, whoa, what's going on? You're going to start to get really angry and start to try to figure out what's going on. Then you can't log in. And like, now I'm locked out of my account. I want my money. It just snowballs from awful to horrific very quickly. Bad on so many levels. Bad. So we'll see how if that keeps going, we'll keep an eye on that for you guys and cover it for you, obviously, like we always do here or with BVB. But yes, Covey, you're right. Normalize 8-cent lines. Sure. Yeah. I think everybody would love to see that, especially in football.
But not everybody can do it.
Nope.
You can't expect everybody to do it. Like, there's different ways to do this. It's business. The price has been the same for 100 years. It's minus 110. Whoever thought of it, almost 100 years ago had minus 110. And you tweak it, you go to minus 05, you do this, you do that. Parlays used to pay bad. Now they pay good. Now used to pay more. They pay less. They've done some unbelievable stuff with same game parlays. Me and Wetzel did one yesterday on Sports Grid. And I looked at it and I said, that doesn't pay that, right? Like, it came out to plus 471, just less than 5-1. And I'm doing the math in my head. I said, we got to put that in a parlay calculator during a commercial break. 25-1. Pay 25-1 with the regular prices. So not everybody can do it. You can't just, you normalize it. If it works for you and your business, do it. If it doesn't, the consumer will decide where they want to go. It's that simple.
We'll watch it. It's interesting stuff to see for sure as to how this all plays out here when it comes to DraftKings and just the industry as a whole. This story is from Monday, but we were off yesterday, so we didn't get a chance to recap the Braves 1-0 win in 10 innings where Snell and Sale for the Padres, for the Giants and the Braves combined for 23 strikeouts in this game. The point of the conversation is the Cy Young. Is this over? Is this Chris Sale? He's winning the NL. He's winning the NL Cy Young.
There's still. It's only August 13th or 14th today. Today's the 14th. Oh, I got to call Reno, one of my lifelong friends' birthday today. No, it's not over, but the odds are going to change drastically from start to start.
Well, in the American League, Tariq Skubal was minus 350 yesterday.
That's probably done.
After his start yesterday, he went to minus 750.
Well, at this point, you're running out of time to get bets on other guys. So you have to, it'd be great to go get Seth Lugo money today. Cole Reagan's awesome. Go make it 100 to 1. Why is it not? George Kirby smoked yesterday.
Yeah.
Go make him 150. Go take some bets because they're not going to win it. That is a 2-man race. Skubal or Burns. Done. I think that, this is interesting. Hunter Green is actually making odds-wise noise, but realistically, no. And every time the Pirates lose, it's a day closer to shutting down Skeens. And, him not getting the 3 starts in September in CBW. Yes, thank you for that. Skeens is no longer rookie of the year.
D-backs. Merritt.
Padres.
Oh, Padres. Sorry.
Yeah. He's unbelievable.
Who I think with the Padres is red hot. With the whole line.
Merrill.
With the Padres.
Jackson Merrill, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought you were saying Merrill's with the Padres, not the Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah, he's with you said Diamondbacks first.
Oh, sorry.
He's with the Padres. That's why I was correcting you.
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Okay.
Yes.
That kid has flown up the charts for Rookie of the Year in the National League. Yeah, I think there's a lot of kids, a lot of people, Vitalis, that thinks that Jackson Merrill's going to win that.
I think Vitalis is on to something. A lot of people are on to.
That means all that money.
Games. I'm watching the game.
All that Skeens money.
Brother Dan just came in the chat. First of all, hi, Brother Dan. Good to see you. I am allowed to drive the share van, contrary to your opinion. You've never seen it or been in it. Oh, you were in it down in Arizona. I can drive it 1. 2, he just came in the chat and said the Pirates are done. Skeens will be shut down August 31st.
Not a horrible take.
Brutal.
Not a horrible take.
Can't win. Haven't won in 9 days. It's terrible.
More to come on them. All right, Ohtani watch for us here. It was a question from Monday's show, but it's a relevant question for today as well as we watch what Ohtani has been doing. Ohtani, and this is going back to the Blake Snell point. What they just did with their 23 strikeouts was insane. Only the 4th pair of pitchers to ever do that. But what do you make of Ohtani going 50 for 50 here? He's got a legitimate shot at 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
Just say it again. It's ridiculous.
50 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
What can't the guy do? I don't know. That would be, I thought 40-40 was nearly impossible when it happened. Can he go 50-50? Give the boys and girls all the baseball heads something to vote for.
He had 2 yesterday. He had 2 home runs and 1 stolen base yesterday. He's right now with 36 home runs. 50 stolen bases for a guy his size.
How many stolen bases does he have today?
I think he has 32. Hold on. Shohei Ohtani.
Put it in the chat, boys, if you got it.
Let's see. Stolen bases for him right now. He has let's see all that stolen bases for him. He's oh my god. He's crazy. His stat lines, by the way, are just like exploding. Got 33. Excuse me. So he got 1 last night. So he has 37 home runs and 33 steals.
He's going to get 50 home runs.
Yes. You would think if he gets 50 home runs, though, he's going to get 50 stolen bases. He gets on base. They're going to start to walk him like crazy. Like in pressure-packed situations, you're not letting Ohtani hit in September. You're going to walk him, and he'll steal second. He's going to get all these opportunities to get to 50 stolen bases.
As a baseball fan, I'd love to see him pitch again. But with what he's doing right now, I never want to see him pitch again.
Really?
What would be if I'm the Dodgers, I gotta take away from this? I'm gonna get the next 7 years of this? I don't know. For what, 1 start a week?
Is he going to go down as the best player ever?
Can Ohtani get to 50-50? I voted. If you guys are watching the show, hit the poll. It's in the chat. Appreciate you all being here. I hate to say it. We have to wait and see, but he's in the conversation already. This will be the first time something is done on the level of 50-50.
A 50-50, but then he can go take the ball and throw you 9 shutout innings. Like, that's the problem.
In the ninth.
Yeah, or be a closer.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I think that's the role for him.
I
like
agree.
If I'm sitting in the
John
offices
yeah,
right
he's
now,
a John Smoltz closer. I agree. Yeah.
How can you not?
I think it's a perfect
sit
position.
and hit. And if we need to get 3 outs in the ninth, I'm going to send you out to the bullpen in the 8th. This is like what we used to do for the travel ball. Like we would bring him in from the outfield. One of my pitchers,
Just
my
you switch
daughter,
it out, right? Be
like, hey, go play
literally,
center field. I need to warm her up because she's going to come
wearing.
in and pitch the last inning. It's not ever been done like this at this level. I love it. I mean, watching him play is a joy. If you like baseball at all, if you like sports at all, you have to be impressed with what he's doing.
I mean, could you imagine?
50-50, would you vote?
Oh, yes, he's getting it.
You think so?
Yes. Oh my gosh, could you imagine next year 50-50-50? 50 saves.
I can't. Joe the Fat Panda, that would be wow.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Saves? Like just 30 saves would be great.
Correct. I mean, he's an all-star of the Little League team. It's true. Babe Ruth had 123 stolen career bases.
They didn't steal bases back in the day, Vinny.
He couldn't run. He was a fat, you know what? He couldn't move.
That's
Babe Ruth,
personal.
Babe Ruth was rotund. He was a big boy. Could throw fast, couldn't run fast.
I have no idea. I didn't see Babe Ruth play.
I've seen video of Babe Ruth. He was in comparison to the average American man, Babe Ruth was a mountain. He was like Andre the Giant. He was huge comparatively.
I just seen Ohtani one time in person in Anaheim, and
I saw the home run. He hit a home run at Wrigley.
Right.
I was there. He flipped his bat. I was like, that's not gone, is it? Like he literally got fooled. He was out front and he was on his front foot and he just flipped his wrist. Gone. Like it was, I was like, how did that ball leave the ballpark? Like,
it's fascinating to watch.
Oh, he's incredible. It's something we have not seen before of the level of talent. Like, give him all of the money. Like, you just give him all of the money. Like, whatever you have to pay a player, give it to him. Like, he should be the highest paid player in baseball every year. Like, the Dodgers should write that into his contract that Ohtani will be the highest paid player by $1 in Major League Baseball as long as he plays. Like,
I don't think there's much argument against that. I think you asked the players, like, there's that expression, game recognizes game.
Yeah.
You can see it. Like, there's a natural, like, man, this guy's good. You know, pitchers throw pitches in places and he hits a double. He hits a home run. You're just like, there's one guy that could do that. Him. You know, and he gets on second base after a double and he does the drive and the thing. Like it just, he's cool on top of it. Oh, and he don't even speak English, like, or he doesn't do interviews in English, but whatever the case is, I don't know. I'm entranced watching. Oh. It's fun as a baseball fan, as somebody who just appreciates the game. You know, he puts the work in.
Like,
has anybody beat his team?
Canelo Alvarez famously for a long time could not speak English. He just never felt comfortable doing it publicly. And now he trash talks in English and it sounds just badass when he does it. He just sounds like a straight gangster because you know it's not his original language, but he's still talking trash. If Ohtani can figure out how to speak English well enough to talk it publicly, he's going to take over the country. He's going to be the biggest star he's not, what's crazy is Ohtani is not the biggest sports star in America. That's crazy to me because we are a country that loves just to talk about things we haven't seen before. And all this guy does is set record after record after record. But because of the language barrier and the West Coast, two very big things for the East Coast people to really figure out who this guy is. But my goodness gracious, is he he's a unicorn. I mean, we use that term loosely, but this guy is the definition of a unicorn.
I can't believe he's still like got so much time left. Like this is right. Like we didn't really even see it all in Anaheim, and now he's not pitching, and he's just hitting, not even playing the field, and it's like, what can't this guy do? I don't know, man. It's. Do you think? Not that the Yankees are the evil empire. Right? And so everybody roots. You're either in or you're out. Is he doing that for the Dodgers, or is he turning people that are on the fence into Dodger fans?
I think he's turning people into Dodger fans.
I think he is.
Until they win multiple championships, until they're dominating, then you'll see the turn. But he hasn't hit LeBron status yet. He's still on the way up. He hasn't gotten to that level of dominance yet where everyone's like, oh, this guy again. Like, he hasn't broken the hearts of teams enough yet. He will do it eventually. And when he does it, then the animosity, then the hatred starts to grow. He's still on the rise. He's not at the pinnacle yet.
Wow.
I don't know. He plays the wrong sport to be the biggest sports star in America. I'm not sure that's true. I don't know if that's true. I mean, we're not far removed from Mark McGwire being the face of baseball and Sammy Sosa in a race that they interrupted the nightly news for to do live look-ins.
It was a different time.
I mean, come on.
Different time.
It was a different time, but it was still the chase. It was pre-steroid era, but it was still baseball is still part of the American culture. Like we grow up with baseball, whether you like it or not. You know baseball. You know the game. It's part of your life. It just is. You know, have a catch, play catch. That argument I love. But you go out there and you just toss the ball with your uncle, your dad, your brothers, whatever it might be. You just grow up playing the sport. Maybe more on the East Coast than on the West Coast, but it's still a big part of the country where you grow up playing Little League baseball. You're wearing the Little League stuff right now. Little League baseball. We got a team from Henderson, back-to-back years. Team from Henderson, Nevada is there playing.
Shout out to the boys.
Playing there. And the guy who is the head coach is the equipment manager for the Raiders, who's the head coach of that team in Henderson, which is just awesome, which is just so cool. So like baseball is there. So if you're a transcendent player, if you're doing things we've never seen before, I still think the biggest sports star in the world can be a baseball player. I do. It just depends upon how and when he's marketed and how he comes across. I mean, for the most part, other than this scandal, which wasn't really a scandal involving his interpreter, because the interpreter took all the heat, not Ohtani. He's been like the picture perfect spokesperson for Major League Baseball.
He has. And whatever that was, boy, that came and went like the come and go.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Franchise name. Bye-bye.
Sweep under the rug. Under the rug.
Go on. Just go hit home runs and, do your thing. So I'm with you. There was a time when baseball was primary. AOWN has a pretty good argument. I mean, it's football first and foremost. It's coming up in a couple weeks, and that's all anybody's talking about with us in football season. Basketball has transcended everything.
But let me ask you this. If you're comparing Shohei Ohtani and his accomplishments with Patrick Mahomes and his accomplishments right now, who's more impressive?
I'm a baseball guy.
So am I, but it's not even close. One's a team sport. You need help. Patrick just throws the ball. Other guys got to do the hard stuff. Okay.
Team winning transcends a lot.
Sure, but it's a team sport in a different way. Baseball is still 1v1. It's a team sport, but I got the ball. It's the only sport that the defense starts the action, and I have a ball, and I'm throwing it 100 miles an hour at you, Ohtani, one guy. What are you doing? And all he's doing is hitting and stealing bases. Give me Ohtani's career. I know he doesn't have the championships that Mahomes has, and I'll give it to you. 2 rings is phenomenal, but Mahomes is chasing Brady. He's never going to catch Tom Brady. Tom's got 7. He's never catching Tom. So you've got a chance to look at Ohtani, and you're like, well, he's going to break a lot of records. He's going to do a lot of things.
Got to win.
CBW, if Brady was playing right now, I would compare Ohtani to Brady, but he's not. He's broadcasting now, so he's done. His hay's in the barn for Tom Brady. This is active right now. And being active right now, you would say the face of football right now is Patrick Mahomes. Fair?
Who else would it be?
Right. So then you'd go into it and say, okay, Shohei Ohtani is doing things. The records are impressive, but Brady's got all the records. Manning's got all the records. I mean, like, we're a ways away from Patrick Mahomes. Like, he's incredible, but I don't watch Mahomes and go, oh man, never seen that before. I watch Ohtani and I'm like, I've never seen this before.
The football records don't have as much, I don't want to say meaning. It's just not at the milestones or the measurements. Like, baseball measures everything with the records and the history, and football measures it by championships. It's different. Who cares how many yards you threw for in a year until the end? And then
Drew
it's
Brees, right? Like,
oh,
ooh, look at the career of Drew Brees. You're like, phenomenal. He threw for 1,000,000 yards. What did you win? Oh, okay. You won one, right? Like how many you have to win multiple championships. There's so many quarterbacks in the history of the game with one championship on their resume. It's okay, but baseball, you're playing against ghosts. You're playing against worm food. People have been dead for decades. You're playing against. Yeah. I mean, you're playing against guys who are in boxes, who have been there for a long time, who haven't walked the earth for a long time. I mean, that's the difference. I mean, football is 1960 on. I mean, like, my grandfather was alive in 1960.
And baseball is closer to the game than it was 100 years ago. Football is the furthest thing away from the game it was 20 years ago, let alone 40 years ago. It's completely different. I mean, we talked about it on Monday when we did the show, the kickoff rule. Like, I mean, it's so drastically changed. I mean, it played on a field, but it's a different game. So it's very hard to measure.
And football, they've fucked with so much over the last couple of years. I mean, look at what they're doing. I mean, they've done baseball too, mind you, okay? But they've done that in the extra innings rules. But like, look at what they're doing to football right now with the kickoff rules and the tackling rules. It's all about offense. It's all built for the quarterback to throw for 5 billion yards.
Yep.
Like, baseball, I still got a round ball throwing at 100 miles an hour. I might change other things around it, but it's still, here's my heater, hit the damn thing. Like, that hasn't changed.
Not to mention, I keep watching the stats and I see the stat line and I watch the games and I go, he's doing what Pedro did at a time when everybody was hitting. He was getting better than everybody else at the thing. Runs are down. Scoring is down. The lowest batting average in years, decades is right now. Everybody strikes out. And this guy's hitting for average, hitting bombs, knocking runs in. Oh, and by the way, stealing bases again. He made the stolen base was sexy back in the day.
Right.
He's doing it all too.
Which, so, like, I hope people recognize playing baseball and go, hey, there's a lot of different ways to winning games. The ball going over the fence, it's pretty cool. It's not the only way to win a baseball game.
Right.
You can do it in a variety of different ways. We're so caught up in launch angle and so caught up in, exit velocity that we forget that if the ball goes 2 feet and I beat the throw to first base, I steal second, you single, I score. Like, I don't even need it to be like, I don't need 1,000 guys who can mash the baseball. I need one guy at the top who can get on base, who can steal second. I got a guy batting second who hit the ball the other way to get a single, and I can score from second. Like, there's still fundamentally really cool ways to play the game of baseball that we don't do at the moment because we're in an era where we're in love, for whatever reason, with home run hitting. And I just hope the Red Sox have these 3 kids called the Big Three. They've been moving up together with them. They're at AAA together. They're all contact hitters. They're not power hitters. They're contact hitters. Like, if we go back to contact, I'm going to be in love with baseball again. Like, bring back the 330 hitter. Bring back the double machine. The guys that just are productive. Bring back, again, the stolen base to be a part of the game. Scoring is so far down in baseball, and everyone's asking the wrong questions. What can we do to change the rules in order to have more scoring? That's the wrong question. That's the wrong conversation. It's the wrong question to ask when it comes to the game of baseball. You want to change the game of baseball, get baseball players that are going to play the game differently. Stop messing with the rules.
Well, it's just like the legislation in the gaming and the sports betting. I mean, they changed the rules to accommodate the problem instead of making it better. Good take. That was good. Do you feel better? That was a nice vent. Sorry, Will, but he let one go. Pretty good. I didn't see it coming either. That was good.
All right, time for the Circa Sports Pro Football Team of the Day. Sorry, I forgot the Y. The
Team of the Da.
Team of the Da. If you guys, we were just at Circa, so we were down there signing up. Justin from Canada, who came on in to sign up for the Circa, he grabbed 3 survivors and $1 million, and he's away 4 to go. He's all psyched and fired up. We're pacing 2.5 to 1, guys. Million to survivor. Not that I'm telling you to do something, but I think million should probably be looked at just a little bit harder because of what you're looking at. Overlays almost guaranteed, and there's more ways to win money-wise in million than survivor. But hey, survivor's going to have a $12 million prize at the end. It's truly incredible. 2 ways to win. No rake. If you're coming to town, you need help, there are contest room offers. If you email info@circasports.com, there might even be better offers than this available at Circa. If you ask them for the best rates available, you're coming in, tell them how many entries you are going to get, and they could take care of you pretty easily at Circa Sports here in Nevada, in Las Vegas. The Dallas Cowboys are our team of the day. Number 10, win total 9.5. Always juiced to the over because it's the Cowboys and they're always juiced to the over. Mike McCarthy, CD Lamb, Dak Prescott are all lame ducks. They're all in the last year of their contracts.
The most valuable franchise in the history of franchises, $10 billion, according to Sportico. Most valuable in the world. Can't get the guy signed.
You can, but they don't want to pay him. I mean, they did nothing in free agency.
You got to pay people when they're good.
True. But I wouldn't pay Dak.
That's a personal decision.
Just wouldn't pay Dak.
You got to make sure that you got somebody to replace him if you do.
Fair.
Listen, if you got somebody to replace people and you don't want to pay them, tell them. Say,
Fair.
look, I'm not going to pay you because I got somebody to replace you.
Fair.
That's all.
Fair.
People have been betting the Cowboys over. They've been betting the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl for years.
Years.
Been one of the best things that I've ever seen since I moved to Vegas is the amount of people that have bet the Cowboys to win the Super Bowl. They ain't winning the Super Bowl this year. Just let you know right now, all Cowboy fans, don't come at me, but you can. And Twitter's right there at SportsBK can say, come on in, tell me why. I mean, you can email us, the show, thebvbshow.com. Tell me why you think the Cowboys are actually going to win the Super Bowl, let alone the division, let alone
10 games.
10 games. Do it.
Here's your schedule for the Dallas Cowboys. They open up on the road against the Cleveland Browns. Okay. Prime time, 4:00 Eastern window.
All right, let me see here.
They've got to be dogs in that game, no?
Hold on. I got it right here. So Dallas, let's see. Game number 1. Dallas is 1-point favorite at Cleveland.
Oh my God. What is that? That's the Cowboy tax, right?
There's questions on both sides of the ball. I'm not sure what Cleveland is. I know I think the best unit on that field is Cleveland's defense. No?
Agreed.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough spot for Dallas.
Home for New Orleans, right? So let's say 1-1.
7-point favorite.
Baltimore at home.
1-point favorite as of the opener.
Give me the Ravens. 1-2 at New York.
5-point favorite opener.
I like it. 2-2 at the Thursday night game on the road in New York. Could they lose that?
Don't they own the Giants?
They do. They're losing to Pittsburgh on Sunday night.
You ever been to Pittsburgh for a football game?
I have not.
This would be a bad road trip.
Dallas, Pittsburgh. Oh my!
Yeah,
bring
just
out
saying.
The ghosts.
Not saying, just saying.
Bring out the ghosts. Sunday night
Put the picks
football.
in Saturday. We take a red eye. We're at the game Sunday night. do the show from Pittsburgh Monday.
Oh, boy.
Things working on it. Guys, help us.
All right.
Put it out there. Let you know.
They're going to win New York.
Dallas wins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 3-2 after 5 games. Or 2-3.
Home versus Detroit.
Hell of a tough game.
I like Detroit.
I think Detroit wins.
I like Detroit. If I'm picking it,
the game's 1.5.
1.5 Dallas?
Dallas 1.5.
Yeah, give me Detroit. I like Detroit. Bye week, I've got them at 3-3.
3-3.
At San Francisco and at Atlanta.
Split.
They lose to San Francisco on Sunday night on the road.
Yeah, that's a split. So 4-4 for me.
Me too. Home for Philly.
They split these games. They'll win at home, lose on the road.
Agreed. Home for Houston Monday night.
What a schedule. This is hard as hell. All
prime times. Look at me, primetime games Dallas has.
Yeah, we're going to get a lot of Dallas. Lots of Dallas. 2.5 point favorite. I say they lose.
I say split the first two. I think 5-5 after 10.
Okay.
At Washington.
Win.
I'll give him that. Home for New York.
Win.
Agreed. I've got them at what, 6 and 5?
Is that Thanksgiving?
7-5. Yes, Thanksgiving.
Geez, guess the most popular pick for Survivor on Thanksgiving. They're a 9-point favorite.
Dallas over the Giants.
Come and do Survivor in the circuit contest. I mean, we'll keep it light on for you, but I know you're saving Dallas for that game.
Yeah, so here we go. Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Thanksgiving, Monday night. Home for Cincy.
Lord, that's too much.
It's a lot of Cowboys. My goodness. A lot of Cowboys.
Man. That's too much Cowboys for me.
I think Cincy beats them.
A Monday night home against the Bengals. They're 1.5 point favorites. They'll probably win that game.
I think
Long
Cincy
rest
wins.
after the Thanksgiving. They'll win that game.
At Carolina.
They'll win.
I agree. You have 8. I have 7. Tampa at home.
At home, they win.
I agree. At Philly.
Lose.
Agreed. For me, you're already at 10. For me, I'm at 9.
9.
With Washington as the hinge game.
Well, I think it's 9, 10. The maximum of everything goes right is 11. I feel like a lot could go wrong.
True. I'm with you. Under 10.5. You find 10.5 out there?
Under 10.5 is a good bet, Shrew. Yeah.
Under 10.5?
I mean, I'm kind of rooting
like
for
it
that.
a lot.
Yeah. Listen, the Cowboy dislike for me goes back to Roger Staubach and the Steelers playing the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. First 2 years I remember being a Steeler fan. Super Bowl 10, just didn't like them. They were on every Sunday afternoon ever. Does Dallas have the most implosion potential in the whole league? WV Punch Drunk 1? It's pretty close. If it's not, it's top 3.
And Joe the Fat Panda is predicting that.
Damn, son.
6-11.
Good work, Joe the Fat Panda. For those of you listening to the show, he went LWLWLL WWLWLLL 6-11. Damn. Wow. Give the boys and girls something to vote for. Over, under. Just type it in the chat. Don't do a poll.
Okay.
What's your season win number for Dallas' season wins? Pop that schedule up there.
By the way, Ohtani 50-50 to get to 50-50. That's crazy.
What? Did they vote it?
Yeah. 50-50 that Ohtani will go 50-50.
Oh, the vote is 50-50. Damn.
That's pretty cool.
You can't even make that up. That's 100% fact for those of you listening. That's what you miss when you don't watch the show live on the YouTube.
That's
But
cool.
Again, we appreciate anyone listening, consuming the show on the replay on SiriusXM, on the replay on Sports Grid. Let Sports Grid know. Tag them on the Twitter if you guys are watching that you watch the show on the replay. Please. Appreciate it. 50-50 on Ohtani getting 50. Christian Hastings says 10-7 easy. I don't think anything's easy about this.
A lot of prime time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of targets. It's a lot of we're going to give them our best shot. I don't know. 10-7 easy is
CeeDee
okay.
Lamb's going to be there next week, right? Like this is all posturing.
I don't know. I mean, CeeDee Lamb may or may not play. I don't know. He wants to get paid. They don't pay him. He comes in. How many times have you seen star receivers hold out because they're going into the last year of their contract and they get hurt? They don't get.
Oh, you said it out loud.
They don't get the money. They don't get the money they want. They go try. They're forced to play and they get hurt, and everyone's furious. I don't know. I think 9.5
sports talk, Matt. Cowboy fans, if that happens, just come in.
Just saying.
Email askthebvb@gmail.com or go to the website thebvbshow.com and let them know.
Just saying. We've seen it happen.
But he's not a jinx.
We've seen it a little bit too often. Time for the Brigade Proxy Service Pro Football Story of the Day. We have been busy. J-Buck yesterday, Justin today. We've got an appointment on Saturday, Thursday, Friday. Busy. Text us 702-570-8255 if you'd like to be a part of the Brigade and have us enter your picks this year for either Circa Contest or the Westgate Super Contest. 2 Wong, 1 Wang. I really apologize. I wish I could play golf with you on Friday. I really wanted to. I really did.
Saturday.
Sorry. Or Saturday, either or. Same difference. Sorry.
You ain't playing golf.
I ain't playing golf for a long time.
I was going to say I'll tackle you, but I ain't tackling you either because you might not get up.
Nope, I would not get up. And I am
walking
hobbled.
Gingerly. I'm happy to see you. You took the steps at Circa today a little slow.
That's
okay. That's okay. It's a slow process, but you ain't playing no golf.
No, I'm able to move. I'm just happy that I'm able to move. Right now, it's just about movement, not golf. I haven't gone to the gym. I haven't done anything. I just hope to be able to back at the gym in 2 weeks. That's my goal.
You wearing slip-on shoes at least?
Yes, flip-flops. I haven't not worn a pair of tie shoes since Friday.
Good.
All I'm wearing are flip-flops. So
Amanda, if you're watching, tie his shoes for him.
I got to go to dinner tomorrow night. Yeah, I got to wear nice. I got to wear nice shoes tomorrow night. So that'll be the first time I'll wear shoes is tomorrow night. So
it's a good test.
Nobody
really cares about you. She ties your shoes.
TheBVBShow.com is the website to go if you'd like to send us an email to sign up and get us working for you with the Westgate or the Circa contests. Our Brigade Proxy Service Pro Football Story of the Day. Where in the hell is Brandon Aiyuk going to play football next year?
Come on, bro.
Well, he has a standing trade offer to your team. It's agreed to. It's done. If he doesn't accept what the 49ers are offering, he's a Steeler.
Yeah, right.
You don't buy it?
I haven't bought it since day one. I don't believe none of this. Sorry, Will. I haven't swore yet. I don't believe none of this shit.
Yep.
I'm just looking at the numbers. I'm a numbers guy. Out of work odds maker. Get to show up with P-Rod every day and do the show. Love it. But I don't listen to none of this nonsense. I'm watching baseball first and foremost. Number 2, they're a much better team with them in. With them on that team.
Who, Niners?
Figure it out. The Niners.
Well, see, I think this has always been the Niners kind of doing what we've seen with other, because he's 26 years old. Right. So I think what they're doing is they're saying, hey, go to the market, come back, tell us what you find. Tell us if you have this big, huge market. The Patriots offered him $30 million a year. He said no. So what does he want? Like, this feels like a guy who is trying to eat his cake and have it too, because he's like looking at teams going, all right, I want a huge contract.
His cake and eat it too.
Same different, whatever.
It's not because they're going to come at you.
I don't care. Go come at me.
Cake and eat it too.
Same difference. He wants to have it all. He's looking at this going, I'm not taking $30 million from the Patriots, even though they're by far all reports.
You don't want to go to New England. What's wrong with that?
That's fine. I believe he's going to take the money from the Niners. I think he's playing in San Francisco. I think the Niners have always said, we're going to play chess. You can, if you want to go and have this staring contest, go ahead. But we know what your worth is more than you do. We're going to pay you $14 million this year for the 5th year of your rookie contract, which is still a lot of money. And if you want to go play in Pittsburgh, be our guest.
Right.
You said no to the Patriots. You said no to the Browns. So are you saying no to the Steelers? Like what are you doing? Where do you want to go play?
It's not always about the money. I'm telling you, when the money's that high, yes, it's about the money, but it's not. Like favorite thing about today, which we do at the end of the show every time, and I'm going to discuss this a little bit. Your window in life is short. Your window in football life is play away every play.
Yep.
So you got to get what you got to get while you can. But if you can manage it and win, it's way more fun. I saw Tyler Glasnow talking about one of his ex-teammates that's on the White Sox now. And he was sitting in the corner of the dugout watching the game while he was down, losing the 20th or 21st game in a row. And he goes, man, I feel bad for him. He said there's nothing better in a professional sports when you're playing the game you love and winning. It's way better. At some point, it's pretty cool to be a 49er and win.
And make $20 million a year, which is basically what they're going to pay him.
Pretty good.
So yeah, I don't know. Dana White yesterday made news by telling the world that Conor McGregor will not fight in 2024. The fight, I mean, we're going on 4 years, Dave, between the last time.
Are you surprised by this?
I'm not surprised because I said Conor McGregor is going to never fight ever again in the UFC.
100%. You've said that before. You've said it again just now. You've been saying that every time we go to UFC events. It's been a lot of fun diving into it and being a part of the UFC media. I embraced it all last time they were here. I would love to go to the thing at the Sphere if anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Let us know. We're going to, we're coming if you let us. I don't think he should fight again at this point. The legacy is growing.
People are bored by it. People are bored. People have moved on.
Wow.
They're bored by it. There are so many other things. And I actually think Michael Chandler's comments on Twitter X today were, even though they were very insulting to Conor, I think he was just saying the truth, that there are so many other fighters in the UFC that have the attention of the fighting public that Conor's game, his whole shtick is just boring now. It doesn't work anymore because you can only be the biggest, I guess we'll say it again. Sorry, Will. You can only be the biggest asshole in the room if you've won a bunch of fights. Like, you can do whatever you want. When you're the champ, you got 2 belts around your neck and you're strutting your stuff. You're doing the millionaire walk and all the stuff. You can do all that as long as you're winning fights. Right. You can't do that if you haven't fought in a really long time. And the fights you have fought in, you've lost. So, like, not only are you not, fighting, period, the fights we've seen you, our last image of you is being carted out of the octagon with a broken leg. So what? I wouldn't go back into the octagon if I were him. Why? He made a gazillion dollars selling Proper 12. He's got a stout company he's doing the same thing with right now. He's investing in all these different things. He may become the owner of the bare knuckled fighting league at one point. What? Like, just live your life, man. Like, you don't need to fight anymore. What's the point?
For here, one more time. You just want to do it for you one more time. You want to do the training camp one more time. Just for you could close out everything in your career, in your head and your heart. So I get it as an athlete. Sometimes your body tells you, you know what? You can't do it. You shouldn't do it. And someone has to
on every drug. No, he can't pass a test, Dave.
This is a problem.
He can't pass a test. This whole thing is he can't pass. He took so many steroids to bulk up to play a Hollywood meathead that he can't go and fight at 155 probably ever again. Human body is a balloon. Eventually, it just doesn't deflate the same way anymore. Like, you can't keep cutting it down to get to a certain spot where you want to weigh 155. What are you going to fight at 175? What are you going to fight at welterweight? You're going to get destroyed. Like, he came up as a 135er. Like, he came up as a tiny dude.
Really?
Yes. Conor was sick. Look at the pictures of Conor McGregor when he first fought. He was sunken in and just all emaciated, but he came out and performed. And he started to do, then 145 he fought, and that was a good weight for him. Then 155, good weight for him. Won the belt at 45 and 55. You're like, oh, this is pretty amazing. 55 is arguably the hardest division in all of combat sports in terms of talent. And now he can't make the weight because of everything he's put into his body and everything he's done. Drugs, alcohol, steroids, everything else. Just retire. Just take your flowers and go. Everyone will shower you. But he wants that one last ride. I think you're right. And I think it could be against Nate Diaz. Probably in a boxing ring would be my guess.
Well, Tommy Lorenzo just came in the chat and said he could fight Jake Paul, make $20 million. Is that possible?
Yes, 100%. Without a doubt. Yeah, easy. And that's what he wants. I mean, as I said, he sold his majority stake at Proper for $600 million. Gazillion dollars.
Whatever he wants.
Do whatever he wants. He has. Why do you want to get punched in the face with a 4-ounce glove?
$600 million?
Yes. And that's just one sale. He's got multiple other things going. Like, he's got more money than he knows what to do. Roadhouse paid him millions. He's got no idea. That movie is trash to juice, but he's got no idea what he wants to do next. So he has to stay relevant in the fight game by acting like he's going to fight. I mean, watch The Ultimate Fighter with him and Michael Chandler. You tell me if the guy's all there. Like, he's just not. He's just not there.
There's a whole generation of fight fans. By generation, I know it's 10 years.
Still,
but there's an actual iteration of fight fans that
don't remember
seeing him fight.
Amen. And they
only remember him being, the lore of this and that. Well, and they're all like, this is old. This is
O'Malley. O'Malley is those guys. Like, when they talk about flamboyant, loud guy who has all the attention, says whatever he wants. That's the Sugar Show. That's O'Malley. That's what that's what he does. So, like, the shtick has been stolen. Like, it's been, and O'Malley would say he's improved upon it with the rainbow hair and everything else he's doing.
Right.
But that's the kids that loved Conor love O'Malley now, not Conor. They don't remember when the Aldo fight. They don't remember. They never saw it.
They never even saw it. No.
Like, they don't remember a 9-second knockout. They don't know these things.
Listen,
so
we have kids. They're, our little ones are 10, but I mean, I have 21 and 19. You're here today, gone tomorrow in their world.
Yeah.
And Conor's out. I mean,
out.
For some, he never was.
True. Out. But so not fighting in 24 the rest of the year. He says he's fighting in December. Conor tweeted out this morning, I'm fighting in December. Right, bro. I'll believe it.
He can say whatever he wants.
I believe it when I see it. Padres have won 9 of 10. Pirates have lost 9 and 10. 8 in a row. Only 140 today, Dave.
9 in a row, and it's 3-0 Padres already.
Oh no.
The day game. I was entertaining the thought if Skeens was pitching in San Diego, he pitched in LA on Saturday night, like Dubsy used to say, Saturday night. And I was entertaining thoughts of going, and life got in the way of that. Good thing it did, because I probably would have gone to San Diego and watched them continue to lose. And when they're losing again, the Pirates were the summer fling that you hung out with all summer. And
they're not losing. Hold on. They're not losing. It's nothing.
It's 3-0 Padres in the second inning.
Oh, no, it is. Sorry, I refreshed it. Sorry. Whoops.
Thanks.
My bad. Sorry. They just scored 3. Sorry.
I got the app up.
They just scored 3. Sorry.
It's fine. But yeah, they're the summer girlfriend that you hung out with. You went to the park, you ate ice cream with, you hung out at the pool, and then she goes back to school and you're like, what happened? We've been together all summer. This was great. I really had fun. What do you mean? It's over. It's over.
It was fun. Thanks. Appreciate it. Bye.
Son of a.
So the Diamondbacks are up 5-0 here on the Rockies. Who's hotter, San Diego or Arizona? They're both won 9 out of 10.
It's like you're asking me between what, Selma Hayek and throw out a name. Come on.
Right.
What are we talking about here? They're both hot. They're smoke shows right now. Lasers all over the place. Winning games when they're losing late. Things are happening. I mean, the Padres were winning yesterday in the 5th inning or the 4th inning. They didn't have no hits, and the Pirates had 6 hits. Padres were winning a game without no hits. Nothing makes sense right now. Both teams are hot. West Coast is the best coast for a lot of things right now. The National League
West is on
3
fire.
teams are making it: the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Diamondbacks. And I don't know which one's winning the division.
Dodgers have won 5 straight. They're minus 120 favorites against Milwaukee today.
What are we doing? I mean, Walker Buehler We're going to find out. They're going to bet against Walker Buehler today.
Really?
It's going to come down. I'm telling you right now. You want to bet against the Dodgers? They've won 5 straight. It says it right there. P-Roll did it. Good luck. I like Milwaukee. I really do. And I'm going to fall for it again. I know it. When we get to September, I'm going to have some sort of position on the Brewers because I know I just can't quit the NL Central. Every year, I like the Dodgers again today. Call me crazy.
Phillies have won 4 straight. They face the Marlins again. They're 180 favorites, but they're ice cold.
Game starts at 3:40 Pacific, 6:40 Eastern. Cabrera and Phillips, what do you get? A cheap price today on the Phillies? Is that what you're implying? It's down to minus 158.
Everyone's pitching, man. What I'm saying is everyone's betting the Marlins because the Phillies are ice cold. Take the dog.
Listen, sometimes it's hard to get up for things. The Marlins in August in Philly, and the Phillies are in a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a swoon. You know, we talk about getting up all the time here on the show. Different things. You guys listening, use your imagination. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about winning a baseball game. Okay? You take a pill for getting up for the other thing. Let's go Phillies. Win a game today, boys. Come on.
I don't know. I like the Marlins today, but me and baseball, you know how that goes. Time for Better to Book. Better to book it. I'm going to get the D-back side of this. I hit this last night thanks to the crazy 2-out, 2-on single by the D-backs to win in the bottom of the 9th. D-backs, Yankees, moneyline parlay plus 110. So now it's turned into a Yankees bet.
So a friend of the show here, and we've both done shows with him on Sports Grid, Scott Wetzel, called it the PP parlay yesterday. And I was like, hold on. We don't have Will here. What did you just call this? The PP parlay. And I'm like, say it again. What does the P and the P stand for? Public parlay. It's the public play parlay. This is it. Diamondbacks, they're smoking them already. Yankees tonight lost already to the White Sox. I think they win again today. Someone named Warren is pitching today for the Yankees. I have no idea who Warren is. Geez, it says Warren and Martin. Wasn't there a show back in the day called Rowan and Martin?
Don't know.
I think it was.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Sounds like
minus 220, minus 230. This is a bet. You got the Diamondbacks halfway in. You're good.
Seattle money line against Detroit.
Ooh, Seattle got smoked yesterday.
Yep. But the Tigers are throwing an opener. It's Wu against Brisky, and this dude's going 1 inning.
You old folks that watch the show, one, I appreciate you being here and finding us on the YouTube. Sometimes can be hard, but I like to say Brioski. My dad used to put this thing in a cup when he had heartburn and drink it. It was called Brioski. We sold it at our store. I think of this every time I see Brisky pitching, because if you take the Tigers, that's what you're going to get. Nothing but the agita. It's going to hurt. Take the Woo. Seattle, money line, bet. Yes.
Yeah, he's not going to do. He's not going to. I don't expect it to go deep into that. We can slide it in fast with favorite thing about today.
You go first because I got a couple minutes. I got to discuss.
So we're doing bonus time.
I mean, we can shut the show off here or we'll have it fill it up. But if you got something quick, say favorite thing about today right now, and then I'll finish it in the bonus time.
No, we'll do this. We'll put it all in bonus time. It'll be easier. If you guys don't know what bonus time is, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching back on a replay on Sports Grid, YouTube always has extra time. And as we get into football season, there'll be even more extra time because there's more games to break down. And we tend to do a longer show when we have college and pro football to get into. Not the case coming up here for today. So thanks to Alex Kane for being on the program for a Well Watch Wednesday. Always really fun to have him on the program. We love talking to him every single Wednesday. For you guys who are watching live on YouTube and Twitter, you're getting bonus time. For the rest of you guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow for a Thursday's BVB. Okay. Favorite thing about today for me, it's always fun. No, it's not fun to get hurt. Okay. But it's always fun to kind of take an opportunity that like the universe is saying, slow the hell down. And like take a second. And I've become extraordinarily appreciative of the work I've done for the last 2 years to be able to do the work that I've done for the last 2 years, and having that being taken away from me. I am becoming a lot more conscientious about my health and myself and my wellness, and not just like working out type of stuff, but like going to get an MRI and going and getting a doctor. And like, I don't have a doctor. I had a doctor. I went back to my old doctor. I talked to them yesterday. He's like, yes, you can come back. So I'm going to go back to my old doctor. He's going to sit down and like plan out, what's going on, not just like how I feel, but like, how do I get my back right? Not just because in a week, my back will be perfect, but it'll happen again.
Maybe.
It'll happen again. Well, but it'll happen again. What happened on last Friday will happen again.
Right.
It always happens 3 to 4 times a year. It happens. So I need to now be proactive. So favorite thing about today is that I'm very much appreciative of trying to not have this feeling happen to me ever again.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing about today, multiple things. I actually took notes because I was thinking so many things after driving home today from Circa and trying to get things lined up. And I got a call that Wetzel will be unable to do the show today due to some family issues, some things that, you really don't know what anyone's going through. And there are things that are said and there are things that are done. And then when you take the time to really get to know people, just listen and really, really listen. You don't have to talk. You just have to listen sometimes. And the ability to be able to get the text or answer the call is never lost on me in a situation like that. So I'll be doing a show tonight with Zeno for different reasons. Just say a prayer for Wetzel, not his own immediate family, but extended family. He needs it today. Second, Pap, I don't know when he's coming home. We got some things working. House is a little bit unsettled. The girls leave for college next week. It couldn't have come at a more strange time, but life tells you when stuff's like going to happen. So we have to trust that when you're put in these positions, you figure out a way to deal with it. Appreciate you guys checking on us. Yesterday, we didn't do a show for a number of reasons. Multiple trips to the airport to pick up different people resulted in different, proxy business stuff that extended past the time when we could actually do the show. So we didn't do the show. And we're very blessed and lucky to have the opportunity to be able to make it happen. If you watch the replay on Sports Grid, you got a best of show. I had tipped to Will. I texted them this morning and thanked them for doing it because it was awesome. And it was the best moments of like the last 3 weeks, interviews, team breakdowns, all kinds of stuff. It was great. So really appreciate that. That's probably available on the Sports Grid YouTube page, or, the show is obviously put together. You've seen it, but our YouTube page. So I wanted to say that. And I appreciate everybody checking on me and my family and different things, because I don't know what's going to happen. Everything's going to be a big adjustment. I'll leave it at that right now. I don't want to say what's going to happen because I don't know, but dealing with some stuff that I had no idea until Sunday that I was going to deal with. And you can think you're planned and you're ready and you're really not, and you just deal with it. To spin it to a positive note, because this is kind of what we do and what I do in life. Yesterday, I got a text from Brother Doug in Columbus, Ohio, and there's a tweet of him at Pittsburgh Lion. He rang the bell for 4 years clean scan from cancer.
Tremendous.
And, he sent it to me and my brothers and sisters and mom. And I got choked up because I was there with them last year after he did the scan, and we just hung out for 2 days and did brother things. We went golfing. We went to see the Pirates play the Reds. And I miss him every day, seeing him. But it was one of those things that I'm like, man, he was crawling through that shit pipe of life with a divorce. He got a health issue. I had a stroke and he wouldn't call me, and I didn't know why, because he was worried about me getting upset because he had cancer. called me in the hospital and said, I didn't want to talk to you because I didn't want to get you upset. I got cancer and I got to fight through cancer by myself with the kids and everything else. So that was a big day yesterday. And it was emotional. It was good. And hopefully I wanted to get him on the show. And he was like, listen, man, I was so mind games playing. He was waiting for that scan. He's like, I can't come on and talk about it because I got to go take a nap. And I was like, cool. That's awesome. But when you're ready, I'd love to have you on the show. So
hell yeah.
When we get to Columbus, we got guys now in Columbus. We're going to come. It's somewhere in Ohio. Brother Doug will be a big part of the show there. And then lastly, kids leave for college next week. 2 older ones. And the way this pack runs, all these girls and all this other stuff. And the journey that we've all been through together as a family, me as a coach, when you talked about that guy coaching the Little League team and being the equipment manager of the Raiders, that's a real job. And you still find the time to do it. I did that. And we got guys that watch the show every day that are coaching their kids or coaching other kids and being a positive role model. And you're teaching kids in college and all this other stuff. My favorite thing about today is the kids asked me last night, like, hey, Daddy, we booked a cage for tomorrow afternoon. Let's go old school. Come pitch us BP before we go to school. I said, book it all week, same time. I said, let's get nasty. Let's bring a little radio, and let's do what we did when we were kids. So
that's awesome.
I'm so fired up.
That's
3
awesome.
o'clock today.
Nice.
I got to get my arm loose. I got about an hour to get stretch, and I'm throwing to these kids. We're going to whack some balls in a cage, and I can't fucking wait.
That's tremendous.
That's my favorite thing about today.
Amen to that. By the way, Tom Brady just told Stephen A. Smith that if I wanted to come out of retirement, they still got something to deal with, saying that he sees, I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL.
Let it go. Let it go, Tom. You ain't coming back.
I love him. I think he's going to be, if he brings that energy to the broadcast booth, he'll be awesome. Be the anti-Romo. Like, don't be the positive guy. Be the negative guy. Come in and just call out all the shit you're seeing on the screen for being garbage, all the quarterback play being trash. It would be awesome.
I got to give him credit. He's been great. I mean, the roast was great.
Yeah.
He took it from everybody. He dishes it as good as he takes it.
And I want him to dish it in the booth, going like, how in the world do you miss this wide open? If you knew what this safety was going to do with the cover at pre-snap, how do you miss this guy over the middle? Like, that's what I want from Brady. I want him to be a prick. Like, don't be like, because everybody was in love with Romo afterwards. Be the anti-Romo. Just come in and just shit on everyone. Just be like, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. That guy's fat. That guy's out of weight. He's out of shape. That arm strength sucks. Like, if I get that Tom Brady, I'm watching Brady every time.
That's on mute.
That's must-see TV. We're back tomorrow, boys and girls, for Thursday's BBB. Thank you for being here. TheBBBShow.com to get into our Discord channel. Let's get that thing wrapped up, guys, for football season. Okay. It's a great way of taking the show after here to a conversation that you guys can have with each other in the brigade until the next time we talk, which is basically 22 hours from right now. Dave, Matt, back tomorrow on a Thursday.